In this workbook, where there are 4 different worksheets, maybe multiple users are using this workbook, and you've allowed some people in the organization to use this. You've got some security concerns, though, and you want to make sure that not everybody can open this file. So one option is to provide a password for this file and only tell that to some people, the ones who can open this. Now, maybe 4 or 5 people you've given the password to, they're allowed to open it, but you only want to allow 2 of them to make changes at all. The other 3 can just view what's going on. So you might have the thought in mind, I'll let 5 or 6 people open it and they will have a password. Others will be allowed to make changes to it as well. We can provide a password to make changes. And if you think this out a little bit, there are actually 3 different scenarios here. We can have a password to open a file. We can have a password to both open and make changes to a file. Or if we were in a situation where everybody could open the file, but we only wanted some to be allowed to make changes, we could have a password only for making changes to the file. It sounds a little tricky. You might have to get out your whiteboard or sheet of paper and sketch out what the possibilities might be. Now, I'm using Windows 8. If you're using a different operating system, things are going to look a little different, and yet the concept is going to be the same. Go to the File command and choose Save As. And here's where things might be a little bit different on your screen. I'm using Windows 8. I'm going to choose Computer and then Browse. Eventually, I'll come to the Save As dialog box. And over the years, this has been altered a little bit. Usually in the lower right-hand corner in most different operating systems, you will see the word Tools, and there's the drop arrow, and you'll see General Options. And here we see those options that I referred to. If you only want to provide a password to open, well, provide it right here. Now remember, you'll be telling some people what that password is, but others who won't be allowed to open it, they won't know what it is. Whoever opens it will be able to make changes. That's the password to modify. So possibly we'll just save this with a password to open. Click OK, and of course, we'll put in the password, and there it is. And we'll save this file, overwriting its previous version. And maybe I'll close this, and at a later time, I'll open it. File, Security and Sharing, and it asks me for the password. Of course, I know what it is, and I'll open the file. So that's certainly one scenario. The other scenario I suggested would be anybody can open it, but only some can modify it. So once again, File, Save As. We'll make some changes. And this time, using Tools, General, we'll remove the password for opening, but provide a password to modify. And click OK. Repeat the password and save, overwriting its previous version. We close this file. At a later time, we're going to open it. Now, we're not really getting a prompting for opening this. It says enter password for write access or open read only. So if you were a person that isn't allowed to make changes here, you'll just choose read only, but you can open it. All right, third scenario is you've got 2 passwords, presumably different passwords, and you want to allow some people to be able to open this, but of those who can, only some can make changes. And without going through the entire set of motions, we would go back to File, Save As. Once again, going to the Save As dialog box, choosing Tools, General Options, and then providing passwords for both opening and modify. So we've got 3 different approaches here to providing passwords for workbooks. And you do have to pause, take your time, and think this out, and think about the best solution for your working environment, using these options for passwords for both opening and modifying workbooks.